Would you like to dangle between Ethan Peck's pecs? Because I know something that is.
Hello and welcome to Incomplete Geeks, a gay geek podcast. I'm Nick, this is John, and we think Herogasm was just a regular Wednesday. And that doesn't make sense to you, John, because you haven't seen what we're talking about. But
you outed me. No, but it's I like the word Herogasm. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere. Yeah.
Just you wait. This is episode 10 of Incomplete Geeks. And we're going to talk about the geekery of the weekery stuff.
Yes, because we have so much to talk about. This was a bit before, but we're going to devote an entire episode to this because there's so much fun stuff going on.
Basically, John's been away gallivanting around Europe, and so we haven't had a chance to talk about geeky stuff, and he hasn't even caught up on Obi-Wan Kenobi because he was having a social life. Who the fuck said you could have one of those?
On the beach, in the sun.
Disgusting.
With a few beers.
Disgusting.
I needed to get away for a little bit, but it was fun. But I came back and the first thing that I needed to do was catch up on as many things as I could, and I didn't get all the way done. But I'm happy to talk about stuff because, I'm probably spoiled anyway for some of the stuff you might talk about. But I want to talk about it because there's a lot to talk about.
Well, let's cover what we can in this special focus episode on Geekery of the Weekery.
Previously on X-Men.
Geekery of the Weekery.
So, I think the first one, the one that I know you have seen, we were just trying to make jokes about some phrases from it, is the finale for Ms. Marvel.
Yeah, we cannot not start with Ms. Marvel. We could probably devote a whole, episode, no matter how long it is or short it is, to this show. I'll start by saying that I fucking loved this show. I think I liked it more than Moon Knight. I loved
definitely.
I'm a geek about cultural diversity. That really tripped my trigger, and I loved seeing all these different things. I love that about Moon Knight as well because we got to go to Egypt with that one as well. But this Ms. Marvel show was just so entrenched in this world, and I once I got used to the language that they were using, I really, really just fell in love with the kind of the cultural references that they did, and I love the character, and I love the sense. I love the sense of family that this thing did, and of course the big reveal at the end, which has ramifications for the future of the MCU. So I liked it. Yeah. What was your overview?
I enjoyed it. I didn't love it. I definitely preferred it to Moon Knight. Moon Knight just didn't hit for me. I do want to talk about the cultural representation of it. As two white guys, it's probably not really our place. But it felt the episode that hit home was when they went to Pakistan, because I grew up in the Middle East. Yes, white boy. But all the way throughout the whole show, it was very representative of the families that I not mine, but all my friends growing up were from all over the world. So I had a lot of Middle Eastern, Muslim, and Pakistani families that I would hang out with.
Wait, if you're from the Middle East, how come you're white?
Oh, wonderful. That's great. I was like, oh my God, what have I said? He put his hand up, and I'm like, oh my God, what have I said? I need to check myself. I just
wanted to make a joke before it was too far away. Shut up, John. You can't just ask why someone is white.
Oh my God, you just can't ask why someone's white. Yes. Anyway.
But yeah.
So it was really lovely to see those kind of families, because a lot of my friends, I used to go around to their houses growing up as a kid. Those were the families I would spend my time with. So it's great that it blew my mind that they haven't been on the screen all this whole time. And then when they went to, yes?
No, I don't want to interrupt, but I have a legitimate question at the end of your thought, whatever. So
should I finish my thought first?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Let me finish my thought. Just that, and the episode when they went to Pakistan, and yes, obviously, they're not remotely the same. Bahrain and Dubai and Pakistan are completely different. But that kind of Muslim, Middle East, non-European vibe, it felt very familiar. There's a huge Indian, a huge Pakistani culture and population in both Bahrain and Dubai. It's the biggest population by far. So that's a huge influence. And it's not so much for me. I still enjoyed it. It was like, oh yeah, it feels really familiar. It felt like home.
That's
the fact that I felt that, and I had, that means I really, really hope it made other people from that culture, from that background, feel at least somewhat that way I did. I think it was done so well.
Yeah,
Such a
and who are still
genuine,
in that culture as
lovely.
well.
Yeah, it was just such and it was just a genuine representation of it. It didn't feel force fed. It just felt like if you've ever met Muslim families, you know what this is like, and Pakistani families, this is just the vibe they have, and it was great. And the mum, I think, was brilliant. She wasn't just the mum character, which she could have easily been. I felt the actress who played it was excellent, and there was just such a lovely,
She really
honest,
was,
wholesome vibe. I thought it was great.
I liked it. My one trick about my one sort of niggle about the mother character is that in the last episode she kind of flips back to Kamala's side a bit too easily. Like there's the whole the episode 5 was all about them coming together as 3 generations, which I fucking loved. Like, oh my god, 3 strong, independent female characters who have just a strong love for each other, and it comes out and it's great. But then all this, it kind of erased all the stuff that the mother character, who may have been like the least sort of inclined to embrace the magic of the family, she's suddenly there with her at the last episode. So I wonder if that's just sort of like something was cut or there's a direction misstep. I don't know.
Well,
it was a bit of a bump for me, but I still enjoyed it.
See, I disagree. I like that. I am so bored of the trope of like they introduce these, someone has a secret identity or someone has powers and they keep it from their family and they hide it and it's a secret.
Sure.
And then they're like, you betrayed us, you lied. They didn't bother with this. Like she didn't try and keep it from her family because that wasn't going to work because her mum knows everything and like that wasn't going to happen. She knew who she was and they didn't make sounds like, oh, I shun you. They didn't do any of that crap. They're like, they got straight to the point where she can just grow as a character.
I like how the father does say like, I was here to support you, but we're still worried about your safety. Like that's totally a parent thing to do. But there's like when going from a few episodes before where the mother's crying, saying you're not being safe, and not listening to me, and then suddenly it's like I'm gonna make a suit for you. It was a bit too far. Like I get it, and it's like it's fine. I get the story, but it was a bit of a jerk back the other way. But that's a really sort of like nitpicky kind of thing. But I did obviously love it.
I have seen some fan theories saying that they think the mum has powers too.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was confused actually because that one episode where Kamala goes back in time and the Trail of Stars ends up being her. First of all, fucking called it as soon as she goes back in time. I'm like, oh, she's the Trail of Stars.
You well done. Obviously. You win.
But like,
so cool, man.
Actually, there's like the child actor. You know how I feel about child actors, but obviously, luckily, this one had not much to do. But the grandmother character as a child, is she controlling the stars herself, or is it still Kamala? Like I'm a bit sort of like it look because she's got her hand out and everything. Like it looks like she's controlling.
It's a kid. Don't read into it.
If we haven't mentioned before, spoilers for Ms. Marvel.
Oh shit! Yes, spoilers.
Wait, so
we're gonna
let's take a brief moment here. Just insert this moment. Spoilers, if you haven't seen Ms. Marvel, first of all, go watch it. And if you haven't seen it, then skip ahead. We'll just skip this episode. I don't care.
Don't skip it. Save and come back to it. You suck at promotion for this.
I'm terrible. Okay. And I felt like I didn't know. But I mean, that's storytelling sort of unclarity. My question for you, because you're talking about how you grew up in Bahrain. Were you religious growing up? Like, was your family like you said you were surrounded by a lot of Muslim families, and if there's Hindu is it? No, yes,
there is Hindu. There were Hindu.
Was that around you a lot?
Massively. No, like I mean, I've never been religious, and I'm sorry, it's stupid. I don't like religion. Yeah, it's never been a thing for me.
You don't have to apologize to me.
I did go to a Christian school because that is all there was in terms of British schools at the time in the 80s. So we had to go to a Christian school.
So when you say like your Muslim friends, and they weren't like friends from school, because obviously
they went there as well. But things like we had Christian assembly on a Sunday, and because Sunday is a school day, and then we would have RE as well. RE, Muslim religious education.
Oh right, yeah, right. Yeah, we didn't do that in America. God, thank God. We soon will.
Let's not get into that.
No.
So I remember Muslim kids didn't have to go to either of those. I don't know if they made Hindu kids. They can't have. It must have just been the Christian.
That's purely my curiosity, because obviously in America, I mean, we'll see how the next few years go, but there is no religious education in public schools, and so I was essentially raised as a Roman Catholic, but that was a separate thing to school. So I was just curious how it
I'm
was.
technically Catholic, but blech.
No, you're not Catholic if you are not Catholic. This is why I don't like saying that kids are one way or another, because you don't know what they're going to decide.
I was never confirmed, so I think that's my get
Oh, really?
out, right?
I was.
Yeah. That's my get out, right? I was baptized, I was christened, but I wasn't confirmed, so I get out. Get out of jail free. Anyway.
Just that was my curiosity. So back to the show itself. Like, what other aspects of it did you really like in terms of?
Well, yeah. So the big concern
or...
the big concern we had was how they were going to prettify her powers. You know, they weren't going to do the Mr. Fantastic, stretchy, weird, ugly powers, which is a really important part of her character, isn't it? Is that she feels awkward and she doesn't have pretty, glamorous, lovely powers. And then when they announced they were going to do it with like cosmic energy light, it was like, oh, you're making, the teenage girl have pretty magic pink la 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 powers. But I think they did it quite well. Like, they didn't make it pretty. They still made it the same, that it was just an extended hand and she embiggened, which we'll talk about, and that sort of stuff. I feel it was a good workaround in order to save money and time on CGI, because
that's what I was
human CGI looks shit.
It's so bad. It's so easily to do it badly. Yeah,
it would be so shit. Even Marvel's come under a lot of fire lately for its CGI. It's because it's producing way too much content and not giving its CGI artists enough time to do it properly.
Yeah.
Whoops, fuck up. Even the bit there was a bit where Kamala was like jumping down, and it was just obviously not her. It was a CGI. It looked shit, because obviously they had 15 fucking minutes to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they used the sparkle powers, because that doesn't need to look realistic. Yeah. So I feel in hindsight that works as a good workaround, and it connects her much closer to the original Captain Marvel, the Negabands, and obviously the Marvels film, the Marvels film.
It's funny you mentioned the Negabands, because I was, back in when I was looking at, every trailer that came out, and it was like, let's break down this trailer and find every Easter egg and create speculation. Like, everyone was talking about the Negabands, and they just assumed that was going to be it. And it was like, watching the show, that was never mentioned. It was just its own thing. So I quite like the fact that it was its own thing. You and I have talked before about how a show or even a film, just when it does its own thing and goes for it, it does really well. And that's why I think this show works, because it did its own thing and it did it well. Didn't cut corners in that regard.
Yep.
We're going to do a little bit of Pakistan, but not a lot. We're just going to maybe talk about it. And
there wasn't a token scene or a token Pakistani friend. It was the entire culture in New Jersey, and then the family back in Pakistan as well. It was seeped in it, and it was fucking excellent. It was great. It was a little bit kiddie, which is why it's not my favorite, but it wasn't for me. It's for a younger audience, so that's good.
Sure. I have sort of weird feelings about the whole MCU going towards a younger generation, but it is what it is, I suppose. And
the younger generation sells. They want to sell merch, like the Young Avengers. Can you imagine the merchandising for little kids? It's just going to be everywhere. They have to make the money back from it. So, welcome. Yeah. Get ready for the Young Avengers, kids.
It's a shame that that becomes the reason they make these stories, and to a certain degree, if it makes a good story, fine. But if you're making it the story because you want to sell toys, that's a good way to end your.
But franchise. Also, it expands the audience. My nephew is 8 and loves Marvel and superheroes, but he's too young to kind of sit through a 3-hour film and get all the stakes that this person died and Quicksilver. It's wouldn't be freaked out by it, but it's too big and grown-up concepts. If they can make a Young Avengers and have it just be a TV show, like all that audience can then enjoy it, and they don't have to keep it separate or wait till they're older. So yes,
I
money
suppose.
making, but also let's get the Marvel people hooked at a young age. A young age.
Well, that's
Sign
what they
up
did
for
with the
it.
comics, then, wasn't it? Because young people got into the comics, and now they are older, and
Now
part
we're
of
in
this.
our fucking 40s and still obsessed with it.
Hey, speak for yourself. I'm not quite 40 yet, but like,
You've also never read a comic, so
I have tried, not for lack of
it's
trying. I have attempted.
fine.
I just can't. I mean, it's not that nothing wrong with the comic. I can read a book. I can look at a picture, but I can't.
Yay,
My brain
well
is
done.
not gonna like. Yeah, I just can't do both. Like I want to. I feel like I'm missing out on something if I'm not. Whatever.
Fair enough.
Which is why I'll end up like for hours on some wiki about the story background of some character that I find interesting.
Rather than just reading the comics, and could have read it in
Exactly.
like that.
It's not that I'm trying to do shortcut. Like I would love to learn the details of it, but I just can't sit through the
You're missing out, man. You're
mixing of art
We'll
forms.
do. We could do like a live comic book read or something like that.
Well, they're all digital now, aren't they? All those QR codes you saw in Ms. Marvel. All those. I think they were all the same, but obviously I didn't scan any of them. But they all relate to like some comic that was close to the episode that it was found in.
Shut up. Was it really?
Yeah. So there's a
That's
QR code
awesome.
hidden in every
Onto
episode.
Marvel Unlimited.
It like connects you. I'm not sure if it was a different QR code each time, but
Well
they
done,
did change.
Disney.
They changed the link, so it was like a
Well
different episode
done.
of Ms. Marvel, like the episode where she goes to Karachi and finds the red daggers or whatever. And then there's one with the episode where they talk about Kamran and his like blue powers.
Sign up
Whatever.
now. Subscribe to Marvel Unlimited. MarvelUnlimited.clown/incomplete geeks. No, we don't have a discount. Please don't.
It'd be hilarious, yeah. We should also mention, like, if you like this show, like and share and subscribe and give us a rating, etc.
Yes, you could do that. That'd be lovely. No, you can do it now. If you're thinking like, I agree with what they're saying, tap. You can do it while you keep listening. You don't have to.
Yes.
You don't have to stop.
It really helps us out. If you want to help us out,
Massively.
give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe so you get notifications on when we have new episodes. We might try to do multiple episodes a week, but
We're going to see what happens.
We're gonna see, yeah.
But
So anyway,
let's finish with the post
with this show, yes, because we have two mentions about post credits, don't we? Or no, one post credit, one sort of end of the show kind of thing. Let's talk about the mutation. I want to talk about the mutation.
That's a post.
Comment.
Is that a post credits? No, that's an end of the show. Yeah. Okay. Go.
Mutation.
Yes.
What?
It is the key to our evolution.
It's the key
How evolved from single cell
Yeah.
for thousands and thousands of years, but every few hundred millennia, evolution leaps forward.
Well done.
Sorry. It's not right. But anyway.
Very good. So, you missed a word. Just kidding. I don't know if that's a word.
I missed loads. Whatever.
Well, you could have fooled me. It sounded good enough. You just need this sort of Patrick Stewart gravitas.
I could have been doing the Famke Janssen version.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Fine. Anyway, so I feel like, so they couldn't use the word mutation in all the MCU the first 10, 15 years, whatever. And suddenly they have the ability to do that. And he's just fucking, they are just teasing us by using it. And so we rightly so right now are like, oh my God, it's a mutation. She's a mutant, blah, blah, blah. And
Which I think is ironic, considering they were trying to make Inhumans the new mutants, the new X-Men, and now that they have the rights to it, they're trying to make X-Men the new Inhumans. Like,
you're trying to get rid of, like, by the way, that
TV show
doesn't exist.
Let's get rid of that shit. Like, let's not do Inhumans. Let's
pretend
make them all mutants. Just make them all mutants.
I mean, we do have an 838 Black Bolt, and I suppose he is called the Keeper of the Temujin Mist. So there is still that. Like, he still is a character, but
they won't do it. They won't do Inhumans. They've shot themselves in the foot.
I'm kind of fine if they do that. But did you know? I think I found out recently that Inhumans they actually predate the X-Men, but in the 80s or so, in terms of introductions.
No, they don't.
Write in if you. I don't know.
No, they don't.
I read somewhere.
No, they don't. You're
looking at it now.
Yes. Could you tell I'm Googling?
No,
first appearance in Fantastic Four number 45. Fuck off. No way. X-Men were introduced like way sooner than that.
Okay, well, maybe my sources are wrong, but I thought it was, and then
They
the X Men just
are.
became more popular. And then when they sold the rights to the X Men to Fox, 20th Century Fox, then the marketing was like, don't make any more X Men comics, because, or no, yeah, focus on
No,
Inhumans
yeah,
instead, because we
yeah. They
want,
didn't want to make any mutants, any X-Men characters because then they wouldn't. Then Fox would have the rights to them. So that sucked. That was a shitty time for comics, but hey ho, here we are.
yeah,
Wonderful age.
middle fingers to
So
you.
yes,
So,
Kamala
but
has a mutation. Didn't say mutant, but she has a mutation. So
yeah, but we're saying mutant. But what does that mean now, moving forward? Like, it's just a way of, I think they're just flag waving. Like, I love it. Like, it's fine, but I don't think it was. I don't know.
well, I think it's a way of
I'm not a
making
TV show maker, so I don't know.
getting rid of Inhumans and saying Inhumans will now be mutants. Like, let's not worry about that. She's still an outsider vibes, that kind of thing. So she can be a mutant rather than a human. We don't have to do
Okay.
Terrigen Mist all over again.
Fair enough.
I think that's, I don't know. Yeah, that's about it. And if they want to introduce her as a, God knows, X Men is so far away. Like, this kid will be in college by the time the X Men are
Yeah.
introduced.
Yeah.
So let's not get ahead of ourselves.
But I think it did its job of making us as viewers excited about the prospect of mutants existing in the MCU.
Just reminding us, it's like, look, guys, we haven't forgotten. We haven't made any announcements. We haven't forgotten. We can call
Sure.
her a mutant. Like, we're allowed to do that now.
Sure.
So that's good. And then the post-credit scene.
Yeah. So I tried really hard not to be spoiled, and I was spoiled a little bit because of
Oh,
the nature
were
of
you?
the world. Well, only because
Um,
looking through the channels of YouTube that are suggested to me, and there's like a little thumbnail of Patrick Stewart's face next to Kamala Khan. I'm like, huh? And then there's like a little thumbnail of like Ms. Marvel clearly in Kamala Khan's room. I was like, oh, okay, fine. But then I
Oh,
decided
fuck
to need to
them.
watch
That
it.
sucks. I mean, because if they just had a picture of generic Carol and Kamala, that's fine, because they're obviously very closely linked. If
Sure.
they actually have a screen cap, that's bullshit.
Yeah. And then, of course, it's like, I don't know, maybe less than a week after the finale, and I'm trying to catch up. And obviously, friends of mine who know how much I love, the X-Men, and hoping that mutants end up in the MCU eventually, so I can portray one on screen. It will be, my friends are like, oh, you have to watch the end of Ms. Marvel. It was really good. And I'm already thinking like, okay, some reveal is going to happen, which is a mini spoiler in its own right. But it was fine. Like, I was still excited about it. And when Captain Marvel shows up, I thought it was just enough. Like, it wasn't too crazy. I expected her to like meet Kamala Khan, but the way that they did it was, I liked it. It was fine. It introduced enough mystery where, like, more so than just dropping the word mutation, and suddenly we're like, okay, this is a continuing story, and I'm looking forward to the next chapter.
So, did Kamala turn into Carol?
No.
Or did they swap places?
I think they swap places. I think that makes more sense. And also the way that she acts, like, she's not acting like, oh no, I've become Carol Danvers.
She kind of looks. She does look at her hands though, which I was like, oh, that threw me off.
Because they're glowing with that purplish energy, which I don't think Carol's used to. I know, but she's got like the yellowish kind of. The one thing that Marvel does really well is the color coding of like the magic, like Scarlet Witch is red and Agatha is purple, etc. And
the one thing that Marvel does well, I think that's a bit of a harsh criticism.
one of the things that Marvel does well, and especially when it comes to like magic, I suppose. And anyway, so
I liked the kind of ambiguity of that, because like Kamala's origin story is famously that she accidentally shapeshifts into Carol Danvers, like in the first issue. That's how her powers do it. So a lot of us are kind of thinking that's what's happened. So it's it's a very subtle, slight nod to like, we know where we're taking our reference from. We know we read the comics, like, we're not being dicks about it. So that's great. But also, like, the whole swapping thing is also from like the original Captain Marvel.
Oh, really?
Storyline. Apparently, again, I'm getting this from TikTok because this is stuff in the 70s, and I didn't read 70s stuff apart from X-Men. It was a Captain Marvel thing that he would be able to use the megabands to swap with people who were in the negative zone.
The negative zone.
Which is a great tie, because that ties in with Fantastic before. There's a shit ton of villains you can do. So that if it's that, even if it's not, even if it's they swap places in
So does that mean
space,
that Kamala is in the negative zone, or is she where
yes,
Captain Marvel was?
it depends on what it is. Like if they do negative
Oh
zone,
yeah.
if they're ready to explain that, then yeah.
But
Um,
also, Carol wasn't wearing any sort of bands on her thing. She was just
no, but she has cosmic power. She has cosmic energy, and the negabands tap into the cosmic power
oh,
energy that
okay.
Carol probably uses as well. That's probably how they're explaining it, I guess. I'm fascinated. Like that's cool. That's a cool way to connect them. And then what's
Yeah.
going to happen with Monica? Like, if does that mean that Carol's on Earth and she's going to be like, I need help. I'm going to go find Monica because Monica's now all grown up
Oh
and
yeah.
meet her there. Like that would be.
Meanwhile, Carol's not aging at all.
Oh my god, she doesn't age. I don't need to age. Like I would love that. That'd be awesome.
That makes sense. That would be like a good story. Like
That's, yeah.
Captain Marvel. I wasn't a big fan of the film because I think she was too powerful. That's glossing over a lot of things,
I
but
like that, but it's an origin story,
yeah.
and since they did the best thing they ever did was introducing Spider-Man in a film, Spider-Man and Black Panther, introducing them in someone else's film, so we don't have to do fucking origin stories anymore.
Oh god, yeah.
I couldn't have sat through another, bitten by a radioactive spider. Fuck off. But Captain Marvel
Uncle Ben
did have to
dies,
do.
etc.
Fuck off, Uncle Ben. But Captain Marvel did have to do an origin story, and we don't like that anymore. Eternals, I think, one of the many reasons why it didn't hit. So you had to do an origin story. It's like we don't want that
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
We're interconnected now. Introduce them in another film, and then give them a film. Anyway, but I do love Carol, and I love Brie, and she looks
I think
amazing. I love the new outfit. It's very modernized without being too. There's no boobalage. It's just a little bit cooler and chiller. Can't wait.
I wouldn't have noticed that the costume was different until someone mentioned it, and I was like, oh yeah, because I do remember thinking like that's really sleek looking costume. I didn't realize. Look, I mean, comparing them, obviously they're different. Like the colors are like inverted, like the blue's on top now or something. And
well, they inverted that for Endgame, didn't they? So it's back to the original.
Yeah, if you say so. I don't. Yeah, they did. I forgot that was different.
It was.
And then even in like the post-credit scene of Shang-Chi,
I don't know.
My
thing was I always wanted Carol to be like the face of the Avengers. I wanted her to be the leader of the Avengers and that sort of stuff. And after the movie did well, yay. But then there was so much backlash, and then she kind of disappeared because Marvel has to do like a billion other films.
Yeah.
It would be cool to be like, she's in Shang-Chi, she's in this, she's still saying like, let's get Brie, let's get Carol to be like
good,
very much the linchpin, the Steve Rogers of the group. That'd be awesome.
I'm glad that she's coming back because I thought that she was kind of benched a little bit because of the way that the actor was. Some comment she made in some interview or something, and I was just like, oh, it's a bit of a shame that that's the reason. But I'm glad that like they're bringing her back because I want her to be more successful because I really like the concept of her character.
I mean, she made $1 billion. The film made $1 billion. It did pretty well, and it was an average superhero film. It wasn't the best, and it still did really well. So it just shows you, like, guys,
good.
We want something other than a white guy named Chris to be leading a film. Anyway.
So if your name is Chris and you're looking forward to being in a Marvel film, just get out now.
Yeah. No more. So yeah, it's
cool.
Marvel.
I'm looking forward to the next chapter now, which I think is the goal, and I'm happy about that. Anything else you want to say about Ms. Marvel? I think we've done it well. I'm happy. What else is on your list of Geekery of the Weekery?
Well, I wanted to talk about the finale for The Boys, but you haven't seen the latest season, so...
Tell me about it. I'm ready to be spoiled. Listen, I'm going to watch it. I do kind of enjoy The Boys, and there's a little bit of... okay, tell you what. Should I tell you what I know? And then you can fill me in? Yeah. Or... Okay, so here's me. By the way, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen season 3 of The Boys... Yeah. On Amazon Prime with Carl Urban, my doppelganger. Basically...
Oh, sorry, you were serious.
Have you seen photos? I will show you.
I'm looking at you right now, and sauce.
Well, it's like I'm basically the love child of Carl Urban and
you're Will Riker.
Yeah,
just accept.
However you feel about that, just Will Riker. If if like the Kelvin universe of the Star Trek, like the Chris Pine branch, got far enough into that timeline that there was a next generation sort of
You
thing.
could have been Riker.
I could have been a young Riker, yeah. But that's never gonna happen. Call
Nope.
me. My agent is ready to. My agent is standing by the phone. I still have hopes to being an actor in real life. What are we talking about? The
The
Boys.
Boys.
So I've seen the first season. Season 1 was great. Season 2 is fine. Season 3 looks interesting because I have no idea where it's going. But obviously, this it can't help be getting a little bit spoiled. What I understand is not a lot, but I will tell you what I do know is there's a character called Soldier Boy who somehow has the ability to. He somehow killed a soup, and they want to figure out how, so they have to go find out what he used. Turns out it was him, and he's still alive. And then head exploding woman is around. Gosh, I know very little. It turns out, because Huey's working for her, and then he eventually finds out that it's her, and it's got to do something. I don't know. Gosh, I think that's it. Those are the big things, aren't they? Oh, and there's like a version of the V that lets you regular human get powers for like an hour.
It's 24 hours. But yeah.
24 hours. Okay, well there you go. Let's
Well,
talk about The Boys. This is all
I
you.
I won't talk about the details of it, so that you can still enjoy it.
Thank you.
Herogasm is like halfway through, so
Spoil the Herogasm.
Be ready for that.
Okay.
You'll just be ready for that.
Overall, is the season like as gory as the first two?
Yes.
Like, is there any sort of big tonal changes?
No.
Is Carl Urban's kid still around?
Yeah.
The mom
So
died,
the thing
didn't
is,
she? Okay,
yeah,
sorry. I'll stop asking questions. You just go.
So yeah, I don't want to talk about individual things, so you can still watch it and you'll still enjoy it. Because I finally watched the finale last night, so I was behind. My thought is, like, I remember as I was watching it, it's like the gore. I know that's what they do. I'm bored of it now. There's only so many times you can blow up people's heads. They just blow up people's heads constantly. The death in the first episode. Oh my god, it's okay.
It's super gory as well?
It's so disturbingly disgusting, but hilarious, and a good opener. It's like quite literally. So okay, it's funny and clever because they make it. That's like a big scene. Like, it's the whole point of that. But they're just like blowing people up all the time, like ripping faces off, pulling out jaw. It's just the gore shock value was interesting at first, and I feel like they are just relying on it a little bit too much. Mm-hmm. You need to do something. So I don't want to tell you what happens at the end, but I will say fucking nothing happens the entire show. The story arc is completely pointless. Fight me in the comments. It is completely pointless. This person goes off, tries to do this, they say no, and then that, and it is exactly the same as when they started.
So could I just watch the last episode and get the story and miss nothing?
I mean, there isn't anything really changes.
I'll just skip the whole season then.
Bit Starlight's like, oh, I can do this myself. Oh, it's just mainly I just that's a spoiler. I can't say that, so whatever.
Use like acronyms or something.
Well, no, like it felt.
Are you editing this episode? I'll just take up my. Okay, say it now.
No.
Okay, fine.
You know how in TV shows in like the 80s and 90s, everything had to be back at the end of the episode so that they could be there in place. It felt like they were too chicken shit to do something that would change the cast lineup. If that's all I'm going to say. So now we're starting season 4. When we start season 4, it's no different.
Oh, really?
You could have started, like, these are short series. You can change change stuff, make some changes. It just feels like they didn't want to do that.
Well,
They're like, why mess with a good thing? Let's just carry on. And that pisses me off.
do it
If you
does feel
can't
like
have,
they're milking it?
yeah, exactly. Like, if you're gonna be this weird, gory, shock value thing, you can't just like maintain. I was like, all right, let's do it again. This time we're gonna. No,
Yeah, yeah.
like Soldier Boy does nothing. He achieves nothing. He kills a load of people and no progress. It's
Hmm.
frustrating because I like the show, and when they finished it like that, it's like nothing's fucking changed. Anyway, that's
Okay,
my rant.
that's
About the
fine.
boys. I did enjoy it. I'll watch
I'm still
season
gonna watch
4.
it.
You should, because it's very stylized and weird.
Yeah.
But I feel like that doesn't have to be all it is. It doesn't have to be just exploding heads. Like, it can be a story. Like, what are we working
Yeah.
towards? What's the
Make
next challenge? It's like
yeah.
villain. Anyway, you know what I mean. So
Yeah. I think also that like the character of Homelander is just a bit like he's not going anywhere either. Like they kind of he was a threat in series 1, and then series 2 he was like just a ticking time bomb, and then they kind of at the end of season 2 they just kind of make this weird truce where they won't like attack, and now he's just been sort of kind of like what's the word? He's been sort of castrated. Like he just feels like I'm just instead of being a threat, I'm just not going to do anything for fear of being retaliated or something. So I don't even know what is he doing? Like what is his purpose? What's his motivation? What does the character want nowadays? Now that what's her face is dead from season 1, like that was his
I
mother
won't
figure.
comment because they do kind of talk about that, and that changes a bit. But
What in the show you mean?
in season 3, yeah.
Oh, like in the script they talk about like what he's doing, kind of thing. Why is he still around? Okay.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
I won't say more.
Okay.
They do.
We'll circle back to this later.
No, you'll have just watch it.
Fine.
They do make it's a quite a good metaphor for your batshit crazy country in it.
Oh.
How they have these characters, humans, like regular people. Like when, okay, like it's not revealed, but when they find out that some of these heroes are fucking horrible,
Yeah.
they still don't care.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, take it down. He's the one standing up for the white guys. It's quite a good metaphor for oppressed, asshole cis white guys, and and guns and Republicans and politics and all that kind of stuff. It's like, oh, he's telling it how it is. It's like, no, he just burnt a man's fucking face off. Like, yeah, he's just like keeping it. That's quite. It's so frustrating because I want to punch them all in the dick, but it is quite.
Maybe that's the intended reaction, I suppose.
It absolutely is, but it's
makes me squirm.
You might, you might find it more uncomfortable because it is still your country. Ugh.
Yeah. It still is. It still is.
Still there.
Still around.
Yeah, The Boys, season 3. Make sure you watch it before season 4 comes out.
Oh, I will, for sure. I'm just sort of like this whole weekend in the past like maybe 4 or 5 days has just been catch up. Oh, I miss the beach. But at the end of my holiday, I was like, I need to get back and watch some stuff because I'm eager to have a TV with proper internet. Okay, good.
The only other thing I was going to talk about Star Trek, but the only thing, because I got Paramount Plus because I was too curious not to. So that's how we can start streaming all the Star Treks in the UK. It finally was released in the UK.
Oh, good.
I haven't caught up with Discovery because I feel like it's gone too far now and that sort of stuff. So I wanted to try Strange New Worlds because someone told me that Captain Pike is topless in it. And in the first episode, Spock is topless in it. And he's huge. Like, he is dench.
Wait.
Yeah.
Who plays Spock? Wait, this is Discovery as in like the... No, I don't know this.
So, I've only watched one episode of Strange New Worlds. I will watch more of them, but again, I keep forgetting to put it on. And the reason I just wanted to bring it up was I came across this random article that the like reviews the first season of it, and I think the title that they gave it was just really relevant, and then it's made me want to watch it more. And they call it "The Adventures of Captain Daddy and the Gang: Star Trek: Strange New Worlds" first season. And I spent the entire first episode just looking at Anselmat's hair because it is so fucking glorious. This beautiful
On the top of his head or other hair?
Salt and pepper. Shut up. This beautiful.
I'm asking.
Gray
Like,
and
is it chest
black
hair? Is it...
quiffed? No,
Gray
on
and
his
black.
head. You.
Okay, just asking.
So I'm excited that means that there's a possibility that there is a thirsty fandom for Captain Pike to be Captain Daddy,
Yes.
and I am here for that because that's what's missing from a lot of Star Trek. Because so much Star Trek is just mediocre dudes and hot women. Now's our time to shine. Because even Discovery is like there are no hotties, and in this one we've got two. We've got two front and center guys. So
What, Pike and Spock?
oh yeah, who would have thought Spock?
I might have to just have a peek at who this Spock is. Just bear with me.
Spock, Ethan Peck Spock, shirtless.
Oh! Wait a second.
Is he topless?
That's Spock?
I misspelled Spock. Oh,
SPOCK. So here's the first one. He's like in a bar. Oh, it's a GIF. Oh, hello. Oh.
Yeah, I'm looking at that too. That's in a bedroom.
With you got like a little necklace with like a diamond.
Oh yeah, it is. Little dangle between pecs. A little dangle between pecs. That's the fucking intro I should have gone. Hello and welcome to Incomplete Geeks, a gay geek podcast. I'm Nick. This is John, and we're all about Ethan Peck's as we talk about Strange New Worlds.
Would you like to dangle between Ethan Peck's pecs? Because I know something.
Would you like to? Oh, wonderful. So yeah. I just wanted to bring that up, and if there is a following of Captain Daddy and PECS, please tell me where to sign up for that. Please direct your comments to incompletegeekspodcast@gmail.com or tweet me at Nick Baker Geek. That's NickBakerGeek. I almost forgot how to spell geek, and that was really going to be really embarrassing.
GEAK? Did you almost say
GEEAK? GEEGEEGEEGEEKEE.
Hi, I'm Nick Baker. I'm a GEAK.
Yay!
Yay!
Did I actually say GEAK? No, GEEK.
It's possible. GEK. GEEK.
Anyway, yes.
You just being going over Ethan Peck's peck, which is okay, fine. So
we're done with Geekery of the Weekery. Yeah, that's it.
Is that? Hang on. So his pecs come out in episode 1 of Brave New World. Okay, I'm going to have to find a way to start watching Star Trek again. Oh, I need to start watching Star Trek again. Well, that's good. That was a quick. Okay, so that was a quick roundup of the Geekery of the Weekery. We got through a lot actually, and we did talk a lot about a lot of stuff, but we're still missing stuff out. So if we miss something about Ms. Marvel or the boys or Star Trek, let us know. What was your favorite part of Ms. Marvel? Was the cultural references like good for you? Was the boys too gory? Is it still good for you? Let us know. Email us at incompletegeekspodcast@gmail.com. And you can follow me as well on Instagram. I almost forgot what it was for a second. On Instagram, I'm starting to post photos now because I was on holiday. So it's John Marks, JONMARX. You can follow Nick at Nick Baker Geek. Do not spell it GEAK. Someone's going to take that out. BU. Geek. I am a GEAK.
GEEK. Shut up. That was right.
GEEK.
GEEK.
Yes.
GEEK. Fuck.
Anyway.
Google
it if you don't know how to spell it. Just get a dictionary. But yeah, so we are. Do you want to do the ending or shall I?
Go for it.
But it's yours. It's your show. Yeah, we're still learning. We're still watching stuff. We're eager to learn more, but we don't know everything because we are not complete geeks.
But we're working on it.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.